All right, are you having problems because your quail waste about half their feed? I'm going to show you how to fix that today with a do-it-yourself quail feeder that's cheap and easy to make, so stick around. Hey, welcome back to another Slightly Redneck video. Again, my name is Chris. Thank you for watching. If you started off like I did using some of these commercial feeders, the mason jar feeders, or these feeders like this, you figure out pretty quick that quail are incredibly messy. They throw food all over the place when they eat, and about half your food goes to waste when you're using these feeders. This is by far the best quail feeder I've found, and all it is a Glad family-sized container that you can buy at any of your local big box stores, at probably your local grocery store. They come in a package of 3 for about $5. Super, super cheap. And all you do is cut a couple of holes in the side. The only thing you need to worry about with the holes, measure down about 1.25 inches. Probably want about 1 inch to 1.5 inch size holes. I usually go with about 1.25 inches. If you have a hole saw, that's probably the easiest way to go about this. I put 2 holes on each side of the feeder, and you can do that pretty easily with a drill and a hole saw. Just put a board inside the inside the feeder, give you something to kind of brace when you're drilling, and just drill holes in it. Drill them up as high as you can, so it only comes down about 1.25 inches, because however low the bottom of your hole is going to dictate how much feed you can get in the container. If you don't have a hole saw, don't stress about that. Just measure down 1.25 inches, draw yourself a line all the way around the container. That's the bottom of your hole, that's where it's going to be. And then go where you want to pick your holes, take a knife and cut it out. And they don't have to be circular. Cut out a square hole if you want to. There's nothing wrong with that. The quail don't care whatsoever. The only thing you're going to have to watch is if you don't have a hole saw and you try to drill this with another kind of drill bit, it could chip and cause some sharp edges that you may need to kind of smooth off. I'll show you with my pocket knife here. This stuff cuts pretty good. Let me get it up close to the camera so you can see what I'm doing. And be careful if you're using a knife, of course. You just cut through this way. I'm not measuring this, I probably should. Take it up to the top. And I'm going to cut this off right here. There we go. I've got a hole in there. Now I'll probably want to expand this a little bit more before I feed the quail in it, but that's pretty close to all you're going to need right there. You can see how easy this is to do. All right, this is the feeder that's in there that's already finished, and you can see it's just a couple of holes, and these are not perfect holes at all. I cut them out with a knife instead of worrying about getting a hole saw out of there. Pretty easy to do. You just scoop these up with food, fill them up to just below where the hole is right there, throw that in your cage. Your quail will stick their heads through there and eat that, and they'll still fling food all around, but there's nowhere for it to go, so significantly reduces your waste. Now, one other point about these that I like these size containers specifically for, and really you can use any kind of container. It's nice to have something that's clear, but you also want to use something like this that is very wide as opposed to very tall. This is the feeder that I started off with, and it's a Glad container as well. It worked okay, but the problem is when you put this in there, the birds are going to get on top of this and walk around. I've even had eggs laid on top of this feeder. But when they step, because this thing is taller than it is wide, when they step on the edge, it becomes top heavy and it tips over on its side like that, and half your feed dumps out and you're back to wasting a bunch of feed again. Okay, you can see how this feeder works, how the quail, they just stick their heads through the hole and eat the food. And no waste whatsoever, really. Very little anyway. This has significantly reduced my feed cost. All right, so do you have a better solution than this, or is this the perfect feeder? Let me know in the comments below what's working well for you. Also, if you have something that you'd like to see addressed in a future video, I will do my best to get that for you. Just leave me a comment below and let me know what that is. Thank you all for watching, and as always, God bless.